Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly. Several weeks ago now, I asked you guys to share pictures of your pouch carries. These are really hot right now for some reason. So I figured why not have you guys share your pouch carries and dedicate an episode of the EDC Weekly to it. So that's what we're doing. And with that said, let's do the damn thing. Before we go any further, I want to announce a few things. One, there's going to be a giveaway in this video. It's been a long time since I've done that, but up for grabs is my own Topo TPT slide, and then I also have the metal emblems. This is a best Damn EDC and a carry commission emblem. These are going to go to one random commenter. All you have to do to be entered to win is comment down below and tell me whether you carry a pouch or not, why or why not, and if you do, what you put in your pouch. That's all you have to do, and you're entered to win these three things. Similarly, I mentioned that we're doing an October giveaway just for the EDC Weekly. So if you have submitted your carry, you're already entered. Even if you submitted your carry back in September, you're already entered. And if you've been featured at all over on the website, in one of these videos, or on Instagram, you were entered to win this right here, and this goes through the end of October. So this is all still up for grabs. You can still enter. Just go to edcw.co, submit your carry. It doesn't have to be themed or anything. You can just submit what you got and you're entered to win. Doesn't matter what the photo looks like, whatever. Just take a picture of what you've got. It does have to be a valid entry, but it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to be following the themes. You just enter. That's all you have to do, and you are going to be entered to win all of this stuff. So the wallet comes from Redeemed Creations. It's the two-tone front pocket bifold. There's also the Topo TPT slide. That is also up for grabs, as well as a TI EDC wrench from Big Idea Design, and a Garage Built Gear Mighty pouch. This was, I believe, number 2 or number 3 ever made. Maybe 1. I can't remember. They told me that this was one of the OGs that they made. I'm throwing it in. It's from my personal collection. I have a newer one now, so I'm throwing this one in, and inside we've got some gear. This is not the final gear. This is not all of the final giveaway. I don't know what all is going to be in here. It could be more, it could be less. I'm just showing you an idea of what is up for grabs, and I have a little Pharaoh EDC in the back here. So lots of stuff that could be up for grabs. All you have to do to enter, go to edcw.co and submit your carry. That's it. As is customary with the EDC Weekly now, I share with you what I'm carrying in my pocket before we get started. So first up in my pocket is the Paramilitary 2. This is the newer S45 VN version, and I customized this one earlier this week in a video that I did on Flytanium. So if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's a lot of fun, and Flytanium has some really good stuff. So this one has Flytanium Lotus scales in my Carta. I have a titanium bronzed anode backspacer, all titanium hardware, and then a Rips Garage Tech milled clip. So this thing's really cool. Oh, and an Urban Carver's bead, because that just completes the ensemble. But that's the knife. In my pocket, I have my wallet today, still carrying the Hubei 2.0. This is the limited fall release, which are now out of stock everywhere. These things are really sick. This one's been a mainstay in my pocket. Even though I do have something in the pouch, I'm also carrying the Okluma DC0. This one's been on the sideline for a long time, but I don't know, I just got a hankering to carry it, so I threw it in the pocket. And then the pouch. Let's just get on with it and talk about my pouch. In the back zipper pouch, I do have a coin. This is the Billet Spin Gambit in Zerk with a superconductor like coin insert. And then inside, I've got several things. First up, we have the Mini Click in OD Cerakote. I have a Raylite Pineapple Mini in titanium, as well as my Mini Champ Topo. Thought I had a Zippo in here. I do not. I also have a beer bomb from Notorious EDC and a secondary knife. This time we have the green Runt 5, and I still don't know if these have been released or not, but that is my carry. Very green, right? We've got a green pouch, we have green knife, green Swiss Army knife, green pen, green primary knife, all the green. And just in case you wanted to get another look at all the patches I have on here, there's a pretty wide selection, but I'm still working on that Ranger Eye game. One last thing I almost forgot, I do have a bead on this thing now. This is a moonshine bead from Damned Designs. They sent this over last week, so really cool stuff. And then the last thing on me today is the watch. I'm back on the Apple Watch. I keep kind of flip-flopping back and forth between this one and the Garmin Fenix 6 Pro Solar, but I'm back on this for now. And on this, I have a strap from Groove Life, which is today's sponsor. We'll get to that. But this is the Vulcan leather strap from Groove Life. It's really quite nice. I like it a lot. Looks nice and it's comfortable, silicone on the underside, but that's what I'm carrying right now. Now let's get to some news from the community. First up, we have the California Custom Knife Show. That's gonna happen in Anaheim from October 23rd to 24th. Don't really have any more information than that, other than there's a whole bunch of custom knives there and a lot of people go. It's a lot of fun. I won't be going, unfortunately, but I hope you guys go and enjoy it. Next up, we have Tactile Knife, which you guys know very well by now. Tactile Turn makes pins, Tactile Knife, sister company. They make knives, and they just announced a chef knife, an 8-inch chef knife that's happening over on Kickstarter. They're expected to ship in December 2021, so very, very soon, and they are $149 right now during the Kickstarter. I imagine that will probably go up after the fact. And by the time you guys watch this video, there will be 35 days left in the campaign. Another EDC company that has released chef knives or kitchen knives in general, an entire cutlery set, is Benchmade. So they released the Meat Crafter. There's also a 3-piece set, which comes with an 8-inch chef knife, as well as a utility knife and a paring knife. There's the station knife, which is an all-around, like all-in-one utility knife for the kitchen, and then a table knife set. Pricing for those is all over the place, so I'm not gonna try to get to it here. Just hit the link if you're interested down below. And all of those can be customized using Benchmade's standard customization tools, so you can choose a different blade steel if you want. I think it's 440A or 154 CM, so you can upgrade the steel to 154 if you want, and you can customize the handles however you want. So lots of cool stuff there. It'll be linked down below. And then finally, the last thing from the community today is the Groove wallet. So I mentioned the sponsor of today's video. This is not part of that sponsorship, but they have now released a wallet on Kickstarter. It has a cool like racking card motion, so you push up and the cards kind of shoot out. It's different from the ones with the side button. It seems like a really cool option. I haven't looked too far into it, but it's a little different, very slim, minimalist, and apparently very tough. They're $66 right now while the campaign is going on. That's 33% off MSRP, so they will jump up after the campaign ends in another 19-ish days, and they are expected to ship in May 2022. So that's it for the news. Wanted to get through that quickly because there wasn't a whole lot, but yeah. Just wanted to share those things with you. And speaking of Groove Life, I want to thank them for sponsoring this video. You may know Groove Life for their super popular breathable silicone rings that come in no shortage of colorways. But what you may not be as familiar with is the Groove belt. That's the belt that I've been wearing every day for the last 6 months. It's easily the most comfortable belt I've ever worn. It's made of a very tough and rigid stretch nylon that conforms to your body as you move. And because it stretches, it's more of a set it and forget it belt. So you can set the size once and never really have to adjust it. And it has a magnetic clasp with neodymium magnets, so it's very strong and very, very easy to use. Just get the ends very close to one another and they snap together. And if you ever do need to adjust the size of your belt, it's very easy to do. Just pull one end or the other to loosen or tighten your belt, and you're done. Like their rings, the Groove belt comes in a wide array of colors and patterns that you can mix and match to find your ideal everyday belt. Pricing starts at just $60, and the best part is the no BS 94-year warranty on the belt. Cut it, stretch it, or lose it, and Groove Life will replace it. As I mentioned earlier, Groove Life also makes watch bands for the Apple Watch and select Fitbit and Samsung smartwatch models. You can check those out. They have silicone in a ton of different options, as well as the Vulcan leather, which is my favorite. I think it looks really good, and it has that silicone underside, so kind of sticks to your wrist, doesn't slip around, and you can still use it while you're being active, which I really, really like. So if you want to check out everything Groove Life has to offer and buy yourself the most comfortable belt ever made, hit the link in the description down below and use coupon code BESTDAMN at checkout for 10% off your purchase. And once again, I want to thank Groove Life for sponsoring this video. Okay, let's get on with some carries. The first submission comes from Robert H., who you can find over on Instagram at RobertEDC12. And in this picture, there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of stuff here, but it's a really, really neat carry. That's why I selected it. So first up in the photo, we have the Garage Built Gear Mighty Pouch, just like what we just talked about. There's a Plague tie skull bead. I think it's Plague. I want to say Plaguey, but I think it's Plague. There's also a Zero Feud hot sauce bead, as well as a Breakfast Club Brass Nano ATE. There's a Vero Synapse Mini in the far left of the pouch, and also on the other side, a Vero Fulcrum and a Lynch Northwest All Access Pass 2.5. Not sure why he has two prizes, but he does. One's technically also a driver, I guess. There's a Workman Ghost bead attached to the Lynch Northwest. And going back to the other side, there is a Victorinox Classic SD Desert Warrior from Blade HQ, and attached to that is a Donut bead from my buddy Rick. Back to the other side, in the very back of the pouch, there's the JRW Curator Flex and then an Olight i5T, which is in, can't really tell, looks like a flamed titanium or a Damascus. And then there is a Malini Mob Vamp Skelly TI with Zerk, that is in the bottom left. And then finally, the OG Breakfast Club egg and a Crispy Donut Community Poker chip. I don't even know where those are, but apparently they're here somewhere. I think those are in the back of the pouch, not pictured. All that aside, Robert says, usually carry this in my bag or toss it in the car. The way I've carried a lot of my EDC has changed greatly. I used to pack my pockets full. Now I try to keep them light and keep all the extra in the new Mighty pouch. Works great with this setup. I also have some Velcro area for some Ranger Eye patches. When is the best Damn EDC dropping their own set of Ranger Eyes? Soon-ish. But yeah, they're coming. I need a pin that will nicely fit in the Garage Built Gear Mighty pouch. Any ideas if a tactile turn pin would fit? Well, I can answer that for you right now. I've not tried it myself, but here is a tactile turn bolt action mini. And this is the Garage Built Gear Mighty pouch plus, technically, but boom, it fits right there. Fits quite well. But my other recommendation would be either that or the mini click from Big Idea Design. They also have a mini bolt and just a mini twist. So all of those would fit in here really well. If you don't want to go the Fisher Space Pin bullet route, those are the ones I would recommend. Anyway, that's a really cool carry. A lot of stuff here. You didn't even mention the i1R2 EOS in the middle in orange with the, actually you did mention the Zero Feud beads. I might have deleted those. You had mentioned them before, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Anyway, very cool. Thank you for sharing. And you now have a second entry into the October giveaway. The next submission comes from Cullen Mathieson, I think is how it's pronounced. You can find him over on Instagram at CD_Mathy. In this photo, we have a mask to the left, and next to that is a Civivi bolt action pin, and below that is the pouch full of all sorts of gear. The pouch that he uses is the Maxpedition micro pocket organizer, and inside that he has a Bic lighter, a Lumentop EDC-01 flashlight, a Victorinox Tinker in blue, as well as a spare battery beneath it. And then on the other side, we have the Civivi Badlands Vagabond, and then the Boker Balisong Trainer. Cullen says, this pouch travels between my work bag and my off-work carry bag. It has both things I don't carry on body every day, as well as my backups for my flashlight and knife. The Bally Trainer has been great anytime I'm stuck somewhere waiting and need something to do. The pouch is small enough I can throw it in a pocket days I don't want to carry a bag around too. If anyone has suggestions for a similar flashlight to my Lumentop that is rechargeable, I would like to upgrade to that. Rechargeable AAA lights are not very common, but if you're looking specifically for a twist, I don't know of a rechargeable twist light. I'm sure one exists. I'm not familiar with it. But if you want something that's in the same, roughly the same price range and size, meaning AAA, not necessarily the same size as this, but AAA flashlight with recharging, Streamlight MicroStream. Period. But the reason I chose this is because the pouch EDC stuff doesn't have to be super expensive. Everything you see here in this photo is relatively cost-effective, affordable. It's solid gear for not a lot of money, and that's what some of you really, really like to see. So that's why I included this one. It's a really good setup, and it's color coordinated. So there you go. Really cool stuff. Thank you for sharing. Next up, we have a submission from Alexander Rannström, or Kiss EDC over on Instagram. That's KIS.EDC. Here we go. The pouch that we see here is from STWMN. I don't know how that's pronounced. I see it all the time. Stuman, I guess. I don't know. Regardless, it is a pouch maker that is becoming very popular right now. Inside the pouch, he has a Leatherman Squirt PS4, as well as a Torshala paracord micarta bead with a brass liner attached to it. He has the Civivi Kai V as the blade over in the bottom left, and then the flashlight that he has that's in the far right is the Olay i3T EOS. He also has a Vero Engineering Mini Fulcrum, and then finally in the center of the photo is the Big Idea Design Pocket Pro in copper. Anyway, Alexander says, my EDC changes daily, but if I'm going to be out and about most of the day, this is what my pouch will contain 90% of the time. The Kai V solves most, if not all, cutting tasks I might come across during the day. Also pulls double duty as a fidget toy. That is a double detent like flipper, so it's very, very snappy and just kind of pops open and closed. Really cool little knife. The Squirt is an amazing small multi-tool which always comes in handy. The Fulcrum gets way more use than I ever thought it would, scraping off stickers that my kids stick everywhere. I feel that. Breaking up frozen bread, that's a new use for me. And the mini Phillips and flathead bits are great for glasses and repairing toys. The pin is self-explanatory, but something that I always have on me if I'm out and about, and this one fits in the pouch. Olay is just a great utilitarian flashlight that does what it says on the tin. I don't carry a wallet since I use Samsung Pay. No Ranger Eyes on the pouch, so I guess I can't sit with the cool kids. Main reason being that most or the cool REs are from the US, and seeing as I am in Switzerland, I end up paying more in shipping than I ever do for the Ranger eyes. Might go down the rabbit hole at some point, though who knows. Love the channel, keep doing what you do. Appreciate it. He also says, I would like to find some kind of pocket trash that doesn't cost an arm and a leg and has decent availability. You and everybody else. It's really tough. Like, you can just get coins from Shire Post Mint. I think those are really, really great. They have a lot of really cool coins, and they're, well, you're in Switzerland, so they're not as cost effective. You'd have to pay again as much as the coin costs to get it to Switzerland, so that sucks, but it is an option. Shire Post Mint is great. So yeah, it's not like the most bouge of pocket trash, but I don't think the point of pocket trash, to some people it definitely is, but I don't think the point of pocket trash is, you know, most expensive stuff. Get what you like. Anyway, thank you for sharing. This is a really cool setup. Next up, we have a submission from Dave, or Dave_Svarte, Svarte, over on Instagram. This was just a really cool photo, so I felt like I needed to include it, and there's a lot of cool little stuff scattered around the photo to talk about as well. First up in the center, we have, of course, the mighty pouch from Garage Built Gear. You guys know it by now. These things are wildly popular. On that, he has a Run EDC patch from Notorious EDC, as well as a Knife Addict Ranger Eye from Altenair Silber. Now, talking about everything else on the photo, we have the Notorious EDC Beer Bomb to the top left, and below that in the bottom left is a Raylite Pineapple, looks like mini and titanium. Next to that is the Daily Customs Raven the Pirate Swiss Army knife, that's in titanium, and there's also an Onzo card holder in the middle right of the photo. Below that is a Chavez Knives Ultramar TAK or TAC, and then also a Bigoted Design mini click pin. That is all sitting on top of a Pete's Pirate Life notebook, and then in the top right is a coin, which he does not address, and I'm not 100% sure what that coin is. Anyway, Dave says, my tools and knives I usually use while on motorbike rides, what happens nearly every day. If you ride a bike and travel thousands of kilometers, you kind of know what better don't leave without tools. Clearly not from the US, that's okay. You know that you can't leave without tools. Harley Davidson, in parentheses. My man, that's funny. Keep it simple and travel efficiently. That's why all organized in a small pouch. You can use nearly anything to open a bottle of beer, but why not do it with style? The notebook and pen I use mostly to write down some photography spots that were the best times and pictures I took while there. Very, very cool. I like to see stuff like this. This is a very creative photo, and I like how it was made, but cool pouch, cool Ranger eyes, like everything about this is sick. So thank you for sharing, Dave. Sorry I struggled through your writing. I know English is clearly not your first language, but I try my best. But I suck at reading, so. Next up, we have a submission from John B, and no social for him, but first up in the photo, we have the Fossil Hybrid watch in the bottom right, and then above that is the Magnus rail slider, and then to the left is his pouch. This pouch is the Yellow Birch Outfitters Pocket Pico, and inside that he has a Fisher Space Pin Bullet, a Rovivon Aurora A5 flashlight, and a Victorinox Mini Champ. John says, the Fossil Hybrid watch I found to be the perfect blend of a traditional timepiece and a smartwatch. It vibrates whenever I receive an important notification, counts my steps, and lets me control the music on my phone. The insane battery life lasts at least 6 months. It's pretty cool. The Yellow Birch Pocket Pico ensures my EDC is kept organized and in one place, so nothing is loose in my pockets, and it saves me time faffing about when I want to quickly grab something. I use it to carry all my pocket gear except my iPhone. The pen is an absolute joy to write with and has never let me down. The flashlight is super handy and includes a secondary red light, which is great for not waking up the family at night, and also handy for astrophotography. As an added bonus, it glows green in the dark, so I never lose it when I put it down. The Mini Champ is fantastic and handles many jobs around the house or out and about. Top tip, I use the orange pillar to open those annoying hard plastic packages. It cuts through them like butter. The last item to join my EDC is the rail slider, and it is the most used thing on this list. It is relaxing to play with, the magnets are strong, and the haptic feedback is satisfying, and the sound is very clicky. I cannot seem to put it down. Yeah, I agree. Those sliders from Magnus are very snappy, very loud, and very fidgety. Regards, John B. He also says, if you have a suggestion for a pocket clip for the Mini Champ, that would be appreciated. I don't know of any that you can get without putting on aftermarket scales. I know they exist for aftermarket scales, but you have to buy the scales with a clip. Sorry, that's all I can tell you. It's not a good answer, but it is the answer. Anyway, thank you for sharing, John. Next up, we have a very loaded carry from Morgan Johnston, Morgan Johnston, who you can find on Instagram at MHJohnston. And let's just dive into this because there's a lot here. First up in this photo, and I'm not going to be able to like point everything out, but I'm going to do my best. First up in this photo in the center is the Vanquist PP Slim pouch. On top of that is the Coke Tools Culprit in titanium, and then he has a quick release 220 paracord wrapped handle. Now, he does break this down into sections. On the left side, we have disposable and single-use items. First is the form card. There are also nitrile gloves, zip ties, steel wire keychains, hook and loop wire straps, My Medic Super Skin Kit, Porto wipes, jumbo towels, and Kleenex wet wipes. In the bottom, we have the GoSun flatware card set, a collapsible straw, Tech Accessories tie tape, Grim Workshop cordage maker, Mr. Green nail clippers, 3-coil crane, a pill caddy, a Gear Ward duct tape keychain, a rubber band, Mophie power bank, and Kingston Mobilite Duo micro SD card reader. And then to the right side, we have the Olight i3 TOS, Lynch Northwest All Access Pass 2.5, a Gerber Dime, Right in the Rain notebook, Fisher Space Pen bullet, and a slim refillable butane lighter. It's a lot. That's a lot, and it's very well organized, clearly. So I do want to talk about the form card, which is in the top left. That is like Sugru. If you don't know what Sugru is, it is an amazing material, but Sugru has an expiration date, right? So you get these little packets, it's like silly putty, and then you put it, like form it how you want, it sets, and then it's solid, right? So then you can't reform it or anything. So I've used it to repair broken like laptop charger cords and all sorts of stuff. You can use it for a lot of different things, but it has an expiration date. This form card is a little different. You use hot water. So you melt it in hot water and then you can form it just like you would Sugru, and then it sets. But then you can use it and use it and use it, and then you can remelt it and form it again. So that's really cool. I didn't know those existed. I had to look them up because I saw them in this carry. This is a really, truly deep down, like an urban survival kit, which is really cool. I'm a big fan of this. I carry stuff like this in my backpack, not on me, but that's a really cool setup. He also said, in addition to my regular EDC, I've started tossing this pouch into my bag or car. It contains some regular or useful tools. I have a couple of bigger fix-it and emergency kits, but this one ends up handling most of my daily needs, and I end up reaching for it ahead of the more equipped kits. I like to keep a few things around for quick repairs, quick cleanups, and quick recharges of me and my phone. While a lot of those occasionally useful tools are small enough to be pocketable, carrying a lot of them still adds up. Offloading into a nearby pouch helps me feel secure that they're available, but not really weighing me down. Very, very neat, and I'm a firm believer of doing the exact same thing, so that's cool. One thing I do wish is that on all these other pouches, you could get one of these zipper pulls like what Vanquist uses, and I'm sure you could, I haven't looked into it, but I love their zipper pulls. They're these big rubber loops that you can just stick your finger through and pull. It's not as cool as a bead, but it's much more useful. Anyway, thank you for sharing. Next up, we have a submission from Tim Bushy. You can find him over on Instagram at Tim_Bushy. And in this photo, we have inside the pouch, the Tactile Knife Company Rockwall, as well as a SOG Power Pint, a Gerber Shard, an Olay i5T EOS, and then finally a Fisher Space Pen X760/B. Now, when I first read through this, I realized there was no mention of the pouch, which I'm like, that looks like a Yellow Birch Outfitters pouch, but a little different. So it's got loops at the top, and then it has molly webbing at the bottom. So it is a little different, and then he does address it here. He says, not seen, but inside the pack are my credit cards, chapsticks, and license. Looking for a small pill storage for my EDC to take my medicine with me. The Olight EDC organizer was a free giveaway in the recent Olight sale for submitting my Olight story. Really well made and great size for fall carry, perfect size for my EDC needs. So if you want a pouch like this, I would highly recommend you buying one from Yellow Birch Outfitters. I'm not saying Olight copied Yellow Birch here, but they kind of ripped off his design. And by kind of, they really did. It sucks, but nothing against you. You didn't, make this thing. It just sucks when I see a bigger company like that rip a design like this off. And they have changed it up with those loops at the top and the molly webbing, but still this at its core is Jay's design, and Jay's a good dude, and so many people have been stealing his design for a while now, and it's unfortunate to see Olight do it. So that sucks, but this is still a very cool carry. So thank you for sharing, and I'm glad to see other people finally giving the Power Pint love. I slept on it for too long, and I've seen so many of them recently. Glad you guys are liking the Power Pint too. Anyway, the final submission this week comes from Jason Picanco, who you can find on Instagram at SpaceTurd77, which that username just makes a whole lot of sense once you see the photo. I thought this photo was funny, so I had to include it. In the center of the photo is the Maxpedition 3x5 hook and loop pouch. In the top of the photo is also a Pacific Northwest Toast Company micarta toast and a Redeemed Creations leather bread box next to that. And the bottom of the photo is the Big Idea Design mini click in titanium. And then above that are Knipex Cobra XS pliers. There's a Gerber armbar next to that, and in the bottom left of the photo is the Illumin-Top Tool AAA. Next to that is the Vice Anvil Tactical Jurassic Croc tool. Finally, there is a Zero Foxtrot Pirate coin and lens cleaners. And then on the hook and loop, you see a few Ranger eyes. He has a triple alt design as well as an O positive Ranger eye, and then he has one that says shit bag, which I thought was funny. And then I'm not sure what the middle one is. It looks kind of like Monkey Edge. It makes me think Monkey Edge because it's like a monkey skull with the hair, but it's not Monkey Edge. So I'm not sure what that other pouch is. Jason says, looking to acquire more Ranger eyes, always on the hunt for the perfect pouch as well. Well, it seems like you've got this one packed down pretty well. I'd love to see the inside of that Maxpedition pouch. I've not looked too far into the 3x5, but that's cool. Anyway, cool picture, cool gear. Thank you for sharing. And that's it for now. Thank you guys for submitting. I mentioned all the giveaway stuff earlier. Continue to submit. Just go to edcw.co, submit your carry there, and you are entered into the giveaway. And again, you get a second entry if you were ever featured in a video on the website or on Instagram. So go ahead and do that. And don't forget to comment down below, like I mentioned earlier, to be entered to win a couple of other things. So that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one.